Hello, guys. A little bit of a change tonight. Chad's out of town with a family trip, so I'm taking over tonight, and we got a good crowd back in the green room. Um, we're got a real good topic tonight. We're going to talk about, for like new shooters getting into Benchrest shooting. Maybe give some helpful tips to get somebody started in this little rabbit hole that we think's fun. But we we're going to talk about like how to get a mentor, or maybe just where to find resources to learn more about this sport that we're so passionate about. So we got Hillbilly back in the green room. We're going to bring Hillbilly out first.
Hey, buddy, how you doing
Hey,
today?
Hillbilly, how was your week this week?
Oh man, doing pretty good. Ames was sick starting to get in the week, and I'll be darned if she didn't try to give that to me, and so I've had a dang head cold the last few
Yeah, you
days.
sound stuffed up. Yep,
Yeah,
ain't no good.
yep. But you know, uh,
Chad's
yeah, I
talking
still
smack
got.
over in the side chat already.
Yeah, we're gonna kick that guy out right there. We're trying to cause trouble.
Yeah.
But yeah, still got to get out and shoot subs, so had a good time. But yeah, man, we're gonna have fun tonight. And
Oh yeah.
um, I don't know if you heard it or not, but when you said Chad wasn't here, I kind of heard this faint in the background, something like that. Yeah, I think that's what it was.
he's terrorizing the side chat tonight though. Talking smack to me already. So I guess next we'll bring out Hasbro.
Hasbro. Alrighty.
Hey guys,
Howdy Has, how was your week?
mic check.
Oh yeah, you're good.
All kinds of problems before that. So yeah, it's good to be with you guys tonight. Really good to have Chad not here, but I'm just.
It'll be a good
Did I,
show.
I'm sorry, I wasn't supposed to say that out loud, and I let it slip. I'm sorry about that. I got to get a light turned on here. But no, be good with you. Looking forward to the topics that you have picked out, Justin. Should be a good one.
Okay. All right. So I guess next we can bring Brock from Leather Action 22.
How's everybody doing tonight?
Howdy Brock. How was your week this week?
Oh, can't complain. Been busy, but hadn't been a bad one. So
Or that? You've been working on a lot of guns this week.
I have a lot of sanding.
Yep. You need a milling machine for as much sanding as you've been doing.
I'm telling you, sure be nice.
He's opening
Get
up
one of
some
those.
barrel channels quite a lot.
Quite a lot.
Yeah.
Me and Adrenaline
That's
have been
good.
friends.
Had the dust flying, I guess.
Pretty much.
Hasbro's mic is too hot. Turn him down, he said.
All right, they had me turn them up. Oh, that's Chad. Okay, forget that.
You don't have to take orders from him. All right, so next I guess we'll bring out Jay Delta.
Good evening, everyone. How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing good,
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
the Coconut CEO.
Uh,
Did you have a good
Ready
week
to
this
have
week?
fun tonight. Always fun. Always fun on Friday night.
Oh yeah.
Wait a minute, I didn't get the applause.
Drink
Oh
some
man,
coconut
sorry
water.
about that.
We can take you out and bring you back in, Has. That way
A little bit of sympathy, anything, It's like,
Uh,
Well, I guess we better bring Dave out before he falls asleep in the green room. There's
Hey, good evening, everybody from Pennsylvania. It's a little chilly up here, but I'm glad to be here. Good
this old
seeing
deer
you
slinger.
all.
hey, Dave.
You have a good week, Dave?
Uh, I was in New York looking for the furry critters, and I didn't even draw my bow back, not one time.
Didn't see
But
what you wanted, or didn't see nothing at all?
oh no, I saw a lot, nothing close enough, and it's they're just they're just starting pushing now, so it's a little tough.
Yep.
You know
Bow
what?
hunters.
I love it. Here's Dave at his age, and he's a good shape. Where talk about drawing a bow back, man. At your age, I'm gonna be lucky to draw a trigger back.
Oh, you could do it.
He's definitely dedicated to be a bow hunter at his age.
I
I
love it. I
admire
love
that.
it.
That's great.
Mhm.
All right, so I guess we'll bring out Steve from living in southern West Virginia, Southwest Virginia. Sorry. Howdy, Steve. How are you tonight, buddy?
Hope everybody's having a good week. Mine's
Oh
been
yeah.
short. Slow.
Yeah, we are.
Did you get any shooting done this week, Steve?
Haven't got any shooting done. Me and my brothers plan on hitting the range Monday morning.
Gotcha.
Like I say, it's been a kind of a slow week.
Shoot, I haven't shot since that 223 WSSM video and that shooting that hard seltzer. I'm not sure when that was, but that's the last time I got a range trip. It's been too long.
You're working too much, man.
I've been working too much. I've sold my deer season this year. Hopefully after this weekend I'll be caught up enough to get a hunt some. So I guess we got George still in the green room. We'll bring him out.
Hanging
Howdy,
on,
George.
man.
George.
George.
How's your week, buddy?
George.
It's been a shit week. That's what.
Oh
it's
no,
been. I'm getting over it though.
that's good. Have you got any shooting done this week?
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, I've got
Good.
2 or 3 videos this week. I just shot the Ann Schultz today in that day at the range challenge.
Mm-hmm.
I muffed that up real good, so y'all get to see that.
Hopefully, I'll get to try that here shortly. I'm about to get caught up on my work, and I got several rifles I want to try that challenge with. The vintage,
40x on top.
Yeah, I'll try it with 40x, and Elijah wants me to try it with the Martini. He called me out on the initial video to use my Martini International, and I'll probably try it with my Pre-A also. I love shooting 5-shot groups at 50. That's fun. Do we have everybody out of the green room? Hillbilly, I don't have access to see.
I think I was the last one.
Okay. Don't want to leave nobody behind. So tonight's topic, is how to get started in Benchrest shooting, and maybe you're already into it, and you kind of stagnant, or kind of plateaued, and you need to take it to the next level, and so maybe we can come across something that'll help you out. Guys, feel free to engage in the side chat with any questions. I got some questions going to go around the panel with it, and so with Benchrest shooting, it's a kind of a closed community. A lot of the products that we buy and stuff, you can't just search it up and find it. A lot of the stuff that we use, or you don't know, to find this type of stuff. And a lot of the products that we use is, made by shooters for shooters, and it's just not commercial, So the best way, to really get into shooting is to go to matches and just witness what everybody's using, and the products and techniques, and just being involved in it and around it. You're going to learn a lot more. Probably the best way to really get good is to have a mentor. I'm sure a lot of us here have started out with a mentor, and maybe I'm sure a lot of the guys, after you've been into it for a while, you become a mentor. And just how important that is, to give good information to somebody. That's it's awesome, that you can help somebody. Um, so I guess the first question, we'll go around the panel. Um, you know, did you have a mentor getting into Benchrest shooting? And I guess another question, that kind of be a part two to it is like, how did you find your mentor? So Hillbilly, we're about to drag him into Benchrest, but we're slowly dragging him in the rabbit hole. Not sure. I guess all of us are his mentor, but
He's screwed.
yeah, yeah. So Hillbilly, do you have a mentor for Benchrest or
If you put a message in the
you
side
didn't?
that say be right back.
Okay, well we'll go on to Hasbro.
Well,
I,
yeah. When it comes to let me go back here. But when it comes to Benchrest mentoring, about the closest I have would be Rimfire Dave. For 2 days, we were together,
yep.
and
I think we all got something from that.
a lot of it was me teasing him back and forth. But I was watching what he was and listening to what he was saying, and especially
Yes.
about reading the wind.
Yes.
So what he did was he lit a fire in me to go back and understand it better and start working on it. And I'm getting better with it. I'm not good at it yet, but I'm working on it. Because in center fire and in muzzleloader, and you can get by with a lot of murder with wind sometimes, depending where you're shooting, what distance. But not in rimfire. And so I'll give Dave credit for that. Thank you. And so I'm doing that. But otherwise, all the other rimfire stuff I've been learning and doing, I've been either doing on my own or watching a lot of videos from people trying to learn, That's pretty much,
we'll get into.
that's it for me. I did have mentors for muzzleloaders because when I got into that, I got a lot of really good guys, and I didn't even know how top these guys were in muzzleloading until I just met them at the NMLRA in shoot in southern Indiana there, and it's like, oh, they're just really cool guys, and they're telling me, it's like, holy cow! I learned later on, it's like Frank House, and
Wow.
and Herschel House, and it's like, oh, they're just talking like everyday guys. So anyway,
That's a who's who of black powder.
yeah, I just a brief time with him, but I try to learn.
Yep. So that trip that Dave came down, whether he knows it or not, he put on a clinic with wind reading. I think every one of us definitely learned a lot more about wind reading from that trip. So Dave, did you start out with a mentor?
No, yes. I had a friend that was older than me, and I told him I wanted to learn how to shoot better, and he helped me. And after a certain time, he said, "You need to find yourself a better mentor." And so I asked him how you do that. He said, "Just go to a shoot and pick somebody that shoots better than you and see if he'll teach you how to do it."
Yes.
And I did that 3 times. So,
That's great.
yeah, they all helped me tremendously. I called them almost every time I would shoot. I found something new that wasn't working. So I'd call them and ask them what was going on, and they always helped me. So
Exactly.
mentors are definitely something you need.
Yes. Absolutely. Um. So Hasbro and Dave both kind of pointed it out. The best place to find a mentor is at a match. Just ask questions. You'll feel if somebody's warm enough to talk to you. Just check the temperature. Just keep talking, and if they if they give you their phone number, then hey, there's a mentor. But be careful not to pester them to death. But just ask good questions. That's the most important thing. And do your research. Don't ask questions that you can figure out on your own. Basically, just make make it count when you do ask a question. But I guess next, Jose, do you have a mentor in Benchrest shooting?
All you guys.
Oh, that's okay.
All you guys. That was my first true Benchrest shooting in Kentucky.
Okay.
It's I keep saying I had a great time. I did. You know, I learned from you guys. So you have to not to think you know everything
You have to be
and
open
be
minded.
open to receive, constructive criticism. Like,
Absolutely.
yeah, people tell you where you put your hand, how you hold your breath, why you want to use this instead of that. And so, all you guys, I watch you guys, um, and all you guys have taught me something. I'm still learning from you guys. So, um, of course, the two gentlemen, they're older, they're in the 80s. They got a range that I go to. They're good shooters because they're hunters. They're not bench press, but the
Right.
fundamentals. But uh, all you guys that got all that experience, I watch you guys. Sometimes I don't say anything because I'm absorbing, and then I go and
Exactly.
try it, and it sure does work. You better listen. These guys have been doing it. You guys been doing it for a long time. It's a lot of wealth there. So thumbs up for you guys.
Yeah, man. So, somebody don't have to be older than you to learn something from. You got to be
Right.
open minded. I mean, look at Brock. He's what 23,
I
and
thought he was 17.
he'll pass.
Brock, I love you, brother.
I mean,
He'll appreciate that in 40 years.
That's
yeah,
right.
skill comes in all ages. So
That's right. Yeah, absolutely.
Hey,
absolutely.
Justin, I got one thing about what Jose said. He didn't listen to a thing I told him at the shoot. And you and Dave, I think, were both there. Because I told him, I said, that Rimex is no good. I'll give you $20. You should go out and buy another rifle. And
Oh,
he
I thought
didn't
he's
listen.
no.
So it's like,
I thought he said keep shooting. You're doing good. That's what I thought he said.
oh, yeah, okay, take your earplugs out next time.
I was encouraged.
So we have fun. That's one thing for sure, especially when
Mhm.
we get together. So I already know this answer, but Brock, do you have a mentor? And
I've I've had probably too many mentors to mention.
yeah,
People that kind of set the hook on me, and then people that have just I can call at any time of day. That'll help me no matter what kind of question I've got. And
yep,
uh, they're definitely a good thing to have. I mean, I went to my first big shoot and basically found out how to get a hold of the guys at the top and talk to any of them that would talk to me back. So
that's great.
that's my best advice for anybody that's wanting to get into it is find somebody that's doing good and watch them.
Yep, try to ride their coattail as much as you can.
Find out what they're doing.
Yep, absolutely. So how about you, Steve? Have you found you a mentor yet, or
No, what I've got going on kind of mirrors Jose's. I just started my first match when I shot with you guys up in Kentucky,
right?
and as as far as a mentor, I guess Dad would have been my mentor through all my life.
Yeah,
He helped me to shoot. We hunted, but we didn't do bench rest. We were hunting or we were flanking or whatever. So this is a whole new thing to me,
gotcha.
and I'm looking forward to learning and getting better. I've got plenty of room for improvement, so that's encouraging. But, I'd like to
Absolutely,
repeat what you said there a minute ago. Mentor could be 10 years old if he knows what he's doing. He's a good shot.
exactly.
Don't be afraid to ask anybody for help, and don't be afraid to fail because you're going to have as many failures as you do successes. And I
Yeah.
proved that up there in Kentucky.
Oh
But
no.
I had a great time, and I saw a lot of interesting things that got me to thinking. And I feel like it was a success, even though I didn't shoot that well. So, don't be afraid to do it.
Absolutely. So, one good way to learn is at local matches, of course, but travel, go to some other matches. You're going to see something different everywhere you go. And, take note of what equipment people's using, what front rests, what rear bags, you know, what triggers, what barrels, ask questions, look, nobody will get mad hardly ever at you just looking at their stuff or asking a simple question or whatever. Everybody's competitive, but this is a group of people normally at these shooting matches that they're willing to help. And if somebody's grouchy or whatever, just go to the next person. Ask questions. You'll learn so much. Watch what people are doing when they're shooting. Like sit back and watch wind conditions. Watch your wind flags. See when they're shooting. Just try to read and mimic what they're doing. You can learn so much from just going to a match. So I guess back to George there. Did you have a mentor when you started out Benchrest shooting, George?
Well, yes and no. Um, I had my bench rest gun before I ever had a mentor. Back, it ain't been that long ago. When were the Olympics in Georgia?
96.
96.
Yeah.
I got my first bench gun, 6 PPC. It was a sleeved, had a polished heart aluminum sleeve over an XP 100 action in a McMillan stock. Just a Corvette red, just a beautiful, beautiful rifle. I got it because of it was an Olympic shooter that come to play in the games in Georgia. He came from Canada, and he didn't want to take the gun back because he had to, whatever reason, he didn't want to take it back. So he sold it to a buddy of mine, and I traded an AR-15 to it.
Wow. That's
That
good
started, and a couple years after that, found Buck Creek. I think it was 90, 99, 98 or 99, I can't remember. And I met Jim Campbell, and he was my mentor, buddy. I mean, he told me there wasn't no bullshit to him. When he told you to do something, you done that. And I love him to death, but he died 3 or 4 years ago, and I miss him.
Yep. So, in the day and age that we have right now, you can learn how to do anything with YouTube, basically. There's so much information out there. You might not be able to trust the first source you come across, but, watch a few videos or search a few sites. If everybody's saying the same thing, then, maybe there's some truth to it. Um, so, kind of the next topic, we're talking about is like, where do you gather your resources? Where do you get your information? To learn more about this. And of course, YouTube is a great asset. Um, you can preview any product you want to, and get reviews on it. A lot of new products coming out. You're gonna see people reviewing it and find out about it before you ever see it at the gun shop. So you know sites like Rimfire Central, stuff like that. There's a lot of good information on there. A lot of gun builders and stuff. They're putting information on there. Um, so maybe one of you guys can add a little more to what I'm saying here. But um, Hillbilly, where do you find resources and information to help you out?
Oh, Reddit? Yeah, if you've ever been on Reddit, don't go.
Don't believe everything you see on the internet.
Yeah. Oh man. Mainly a lot of connections in YouTube and stuff like that, friends and on here and stuff. Great community, always share stuff, that's just pretty much about anything you need to know. And and that was like part of my mentors when it comes to bench rest. I grew up shooting tree rest, hunting, shooting off of a tree or whatever, and so it's really nice to be a part of these communities, especially starting something, that you might not have any much information on stuff, but yeah, this community, YouTube's been really, really good for me. Yeah. You're right, Boomstick. Yeah, Boomstick. I do idolize Boomstick. No doubt about that.
Yeah.
So Hasbro, where do you find information to learn more about the sport?
So beyond the guys in this room, the main source I put in the side chat, Hillbilly's
Okay.
channel.
Yeah,
That guy is it's this. I got to pointing that way.
that way.
Whatever that guy. He's sneaky good. Even with one eye, if you give him a gun that actually can shoot, he can shoot. All the other noise in between teaches me what not to do. So I learned. I learned.
Yep, I teach you what not to do, no doubt about it. Do not use an iron board as a bench rest. They're a little
That
off.
was a good one. And don't cross dress where you're shooting. There's all kinds of problems there. That one's never going to be a problem. But no, I do watch a lot of YouTube. I learned a lot from Josh, A Pursuit of Accuracy. He just got a lot of good fundamentals from Cyclops Joe. The guy is a lot of fun. But from all the other channels I watch, I learn. And then when I go to shoots, I learn. And I practice a ton. Okay. When it comes to rimfire. I don't know how much you guys fire in a year, but I think I've fired north of 5,000 rounds this year. By far more than I've ever shot.
Yeah.
And it's getting expensive, so it's going to tailor off a little bit now. So, but no, it's a lot of fun. That's kind of where I do. Just a lot of digging, researching, and listening.
Exactly. How about you, Dave? Where do you find information to help you out?
I would have to say 90% or maybe more YouTube.
Yep.
And you guys here, I just go to YouTube and ask the question, and somebody will tell me 10 different ways, and and you take the one you like and fits you, and then I try it.
Yes. So how about you, Jose?
Same thing. I like to ask questions when I'm not sure about something. I know I can call over you guys. A lot of times I call some of you guys here on this, and I always get a good answer.
Exactly.
And then if I don't find the answer, then I go try it myself. Whatever it may be, a new ammo, a new scope. I know not everybody can afford to do that, but I do find myself, for example, sometimes I was looking at a scope. I wanted to know what it came with it. So, and I was on the hunt for the scope. So I look and I look and I look, and I didn't find no video. So I went and bought one, but it came with all the parts that I was looking for. So I made a video and I put it out there because sometimes you won't find everything, and that's how I do sometimes. Yep. I go find it, test it, and then I said, this is how it worked for me, but yes, you can get this, it comes with this, or it doesn't come with that. So that's what I do
Absolutely.
sometimes.
So, one thing I was just thinking about here, if you're on YouTube and you're watching these people's channels, leave a comment, ask a question in the comments.
Mm-hmm.
Most of us, we'll answer you. You'll get somebody to help you out, even if it's not the creator of the channel. You'll have another subscriber that will help you out. So the information's out there and it's easy to get. You just have to make sure it's good information. So Brock, what resources do you use?
Kentucky Rimfire and Hobbies.
Oh boy, I'll make Chad's head swell no more than
No,
that.
going and doing it. I mean, talking to people that do this all the time or that have done it for 30 years. I mean,
Yes.
and it goes back, kind of full circle with the mentors. They know, most of them know what they're doing, and I mean, don't be afraid to ask them questions or hey, why does that work for you? Or one thing that's really helped me is I went, and I'll video somebody that's does really well in Benchrest, and I'll sit there at home and watch them shoot. Well, what are they doing different that I can work on? Or
Yes.
hey, they're not moving their feet around, or they're doing the same thing every time, and repetition goes a long ways in this sport.
Yes. Consistency is accuracy. You know, and normally rigidity is accuracy too. The more solid something is, the less play. And just the more consistent every component of your whole setup is. The more accurate you're going to be.
Mm-hmm.
So, how about you, Steve? What resources do you use?
Like a lot of you guys, I watch a lot of YouTube videos.
Yes.
There's some good shooters on here. A lot of you guys just make some excellent videos, and I watch a lot of them. I've got a brother that I shoot with a lot, and he's always been a really good shot. So we kind of bounce ideas off of each other and work together on it. And it's a lot with me is it's a change. When you're hunting, you guys know, you're looking at making one shot or maybe two off a bipod or leaning off on a tree or whatever. And there's a
Right.
difference between making that one good enough shot to get your game to making a 5-shot group or a 10-shot group as tight as possible. And I'm working on trying to watch what you guys are doing and everybody out in the community, and hopefully pick up enough of that to improve myself.
Absolutely. How about you, George? Where do you get resources, and information?
Well, YouTube, a lot of it, just like everybody else. Man, you got to be careful because there's some dudes out there. I mean, I don't want people out watching my videos and doing what I do because I'm not a good teacher as far as my videos anyway. As far as doing bench rest, find somebody like Brock or somebody that's doing ARA, that's doing actual bench rest. There's a big difference between shooting off a bench and actual bench rest.
Oh, yeah.
You're not
Yeah.
shooting bench rest because you're shooting off of a bench. And I don't want people to watch what I'm doing and think they ought to do it that way. They shouldn't. There's certain ways to shoot bench rest, and what I'm doing is not it. For one thing, I don't use flags, which is dumb. You cannot shoot accurately without flags. Period. Can't do it. I made a video today. You'll see what it will bite you.
Oh, yeah.
And people just need to find the right videos to watch. You know what I'm saying? If they want to do true bench rest, if they're just doing like me and I'm just shooting to have fun. That's it.
Challenge target stuff.
I do shoot bench rest. I go to bench rest matches. I do that, but my videos are not a good learning aid. Go watch some of what Dave's doing. He gives great advice. Brock and people like that are actually shooting bench rest. Those are the guys you need to listen to. Don't listen to people like me.
Don't sell yourself short, George. You're a good shot, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
But I understand what you're saying.
Just in general, actual
Yeah.
bench rest. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
So,
George, I've been watching and learning from you, and I appreciate what you do to be accurate because it's not conventional, and you really focus in on how to do it the way you need to do it. I think that's great.
oh yeah, I've definitely picked up on some stuff from you, George. Every one of you guys. But so
Well,
the best way to get started in Benchrest shooting is find you a local club and that has a good facility, has good benches, stuff like that. Probably something you already own. You could get started like in a hunter class or maybe a factory class, without spending any more money. That's kind of the next direction we're going here with this topic is, what class recommendations and, what rifle combo type thing would you recommend to some new shooter out here? And as the different disciplines of shooting Benchrest here, the classes they kind of overlap, but there may be a little nuance that'll change your class. Maybe if you put a trigger in or something like that, it may take you out of factory and put you in precision or something. But for the most part, a factory gun is a factory gun, and you can shoot about any type of match with that. But there are some different rules. So, my personal recommendation for what classes to get started shooting will probably be factory class or a hunter class if your local range offers that, because you can do it with something you already have. But your expectations for what you're shooting, your scores and stuff, it's got to reflect the rifle you're shooting. You're not going to shoot a hunter class and shoot, in the 230s and 240s. If you are, you're going to dominate. But you got to have good expectations of what's going to happen. But probably one of the best classes to be in is factory class at our local matches. Um, a lot of the new shooters start out there, and um, then from there they upgrade into precision, and then on into unlimited guns. As their skill level increases, and they want to shoot smaller groups, I guess. And spend more money to do so. But one thing I want to iterate is, like, don't be quick to spend more money. Build your skill level before you go changing guns. Or go rebarrel on your rifle or doing something like that. Upgrade your optics. That's one thing to do. With any rifle you're shooting. Give it the best chance you can with optics. You can never go wrong there. But don't be switched uh, quick to change out that barrel, because that barrel's probably out shooting you for the first year or two. Um, let somebody else shoot your gun. If they can tell if you got a good barrel or not. They can tell if it's skill level or your equipment. So that's one way to weed out whether you got good equipment or not. But we'll go around the room. I don't think Hillbilly shot much matches, but what recommendation would you suggest for somebody getting started, Hillbilly?
I assume it's like anything else you do, regardless if it's racing or whatever, put yourself, in an area, like I said, let's go to some of these matches and, you know, just go and watch or something if you want to or whatever, kind of get, lowdown of it. But like I said, I think it's, whatever you want to do, be around it, be around people
Yeah.
that do that good, and they're good at it and stuff. And I think in anything we do, that's the main thing. And then real quick on the wind flags, I mean, it's like Boomstick says that you put out deer feed, and deer's going to show up. You put out wind flags, wind's going to show up. So.
He may have a point.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So we'll call it a side chat after we go around with this round of questions here. But Hasbro, what class do you recommend for new shooters to get started with?
Oh, you already said it. Absolutely, factory class.
Yeah.
Because you can learn a lot about. First thing in 22, you got to learn about its technique, but then it's really about ammo, right? If you just expect to pick up a box of ammo and go shoot and win, probably not going to happen.
Right.
You got to spend time and learn about lot numbers, learn about different brands, lubes, all kinds of stuff, cleaning. And Dave's got a bunch of good videos on that. Learn in factory class and get a Savage Mark II, a winning combination.
Yeah.
That's a good cheap option. Yes, absolutely.
Yep.
They're not to be overlooked. So, like Hasbro was saying, get in factory class, learn how to shoot conditions, practice in conditions, practice in wind, You know, see what aim dead on, see where it drifts you to. You know, in different wind conditions. That's the best way to figure it out. Um, so, Dave, what's your recommendation for somebody getting started? What class and what type of rifle?
I tell most everybody, buy what you can afford.
Yeah,
Buy the best that you can afford at the time, and see if you like it before you go and invest in a lot of money.
absolutely.
And I tell them, they ask me if I have any recommendations, and then I tell them, the Savage is probably as low as you can go, and still will shoot fairly well. And then if you want to spend a little more money, I tell them about the Tikas, the MTRs, and other guns.
Yep,
And you got to get your feet wet first, I tell them, because
yep.
the competition out there, all them people that you see there, they're all trying to win. They're not going to be your friend. You know, everybody there is trying to beat you, and this guy and that guy. So uh, they're not going to lay down just because you're a new shooter. Trust me.
I like to think
So
of it. You know, you got to learn how to drive before we can race. You know,
right,
so
exactly, and that's what it's
absolutely.
about.
Yep.
And I tell them not get your hopes up, because these guys have been shooting for 2 years or 10 years or 20 years. You're not going to walk in there and shoot with the best.
Yeah.
Now, there is exceptions to all that. Don't get me wrong. Some people are natural at it,
Hmm.
but most have to work very hard, including like me. I have been shooting for 50 some years.
Beginner's luck definitely happens, but it's
It
hard to
does.
repeat beginner's luck. You know.
We saw that. You remember Justin at the Hyde with Brendan shooting my CZ. I
Yeah.
basically hand him a highly developed gun with a really good lot of ammo, and the kid shot the same score, just less X's. So you talk about natural. There's real things to that,
Brandon's
right?
a
Real
natural
talent.
shooter. Yeah. Yep, for sure.
Yep, they pick it up. Some pick it up right away, and some it just seems to take longer.
I think some people, you know, all of us on this panel is guilty. We overthink things. You know, we we're fighting what we have. You know, we're overthinking it. And somebody, you can hand them your equipment and they may outshoot you with it because they're not overthinking it. You know,
Yep.
it, it
Hmm.
happens. You know. Um. So how about you, Jose? What?
I say the same. Start at you know uh, s- stock level.
I agree.
But I do like Dave says. I tell him buy what you can afford. I said if you can afford a ZZ, buy a ZZ or a Tika
Hmm.
if you can afford it, and then work for there because that you got something in the middle. It's like me when I was working with speakers. I want when you're young, you want to hear the boom, boom, boom. That loud music, that bass. Well, I kept buying big speakers, and they sound terrible. And I think something was wrong. Well, and nothing wrong with the speaker. I didn't have the right equipment to drive them. I needed power.
Yeah.
So, I started with a Savage Mark II. It was good rifle, but then I said, man, what I spent on that rifle, I could. Of course, I didn't know, and that's when going to matches and asking people to know. But I will start if you can afford something in the middle. Um, I know, when you say 600 coconuts, that's not entry level to me. Entry level to me is like 20 coconuts. But if you can afford it, that way you know where you need to go, and you always can revert back. But yeah, start there. And I know this is one of the questions that is coming up later on. But then I said, people say that practice makes perfect. I say practice makes permanent, right?
Yeah.
The more you do it, you get used to it. When
Becomes
you
a
get to
habit.
that rifle, instead of digging your cheek in there, now you're just laying in there, you hold your breathing. So I would say start class and whatever you can afford there, you can go a little higher than a Savage and then use the ammo and shoot. You'll be surprised. Like I'm shooting one of my CCs that I haven't shot in a while. It has a Luja barrel, but I'm shooting a $399 box, and I mean it's not match ammo, but it's good for practice. So those are the things that you find through practice, and the best way to start is probably right there at the stock level.
Absolutely.
Please say it's not a Gila.
He's type 22.
Hey,
So-
there ain't nothing wrong with the Gila.
So one thing too, you go to these local club matches, or just to your local club, hanging out and practicing,
Hmm.
and there's gonna be people show up with stuff, and if you maybe not the first time you ever meet somebody, but once you become friends with somebody, they'll be more than willing to let you try out their rifle.
Absolutely.
Test driving, that's the best way to figure stuff out. It's a good way to spend money too.
That's
But
right. To save money. Yeah. Yeah.
it'll definitely make you spend money.
Yeah.
But test driving people's stuff, looking through their scope, something as simple as that.
That's right.
Um, I definitely emphasize, buy what you can afford, but splurge on the optic. You know, and never
Absolutely.
sell your optics. When you trade a gun or sell a gun, if you buy a good optic, keep it. Don't sell it.
Don't sell it.
That's the best advice I can give you.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you because you can take that scope on the next rifle.
Right. You can put it on
And
anything you got.
anything you want. Yep.
Buy quality optics and move them
Glass.
around.
That's what I'd say.
Absolutely.
Glass. I've seen a lot of guys that buy some very expensive rifles, and then they buy. I mean, nothing wrong with that, but they buy. I'm not gonna mention, but they buy like a 4x16, and then when they get to shoot, they say they can't see the target because it's the dot is too big. So
You
I
can't
seen a
shoot.
guy one time shooting a 2013 with a 3x9 scope.
yeah,
That's
that's a
right.
guy.
We both did that.
Yeah, that's a guy in North Carolina that like to do that.
Yeah.
You can't hit what you can't see.
That's right.
Once,
Yeah,
once
I
he did
tell
that, once he did that, I put that on the and shoots, and I couldn't believe some of the groups I shot with that. It's like
you, 3x9.
I'll probably never do it again, but
Yeah, I mean that's all I had. So, but that's what the practice comes in, the experience.
Absolutely.
So
Yes.
yeah, because sometimes that's all you have, But
Yeah.
if you can afford it, yeah, go that middle ways.
Yep. So Brock, what you recommend as an entry level class and rifle?
Well, first off, stay away from shiny objects. Just because somebody else has it, don't mean you have to have it.
That bling bling, yeah.
You know, you can be a entry level shooter and have the best rifle in the country and not win. I mean, if you don't know what you're doing, you're not going to do well with it.
Not
You
until
know,
the skills there.
personally, I mean, find you a gun that you can do well with. And my way to do that is find out what they're shooting around you. Some ranges may let you shoot certain guns that others won't in a factory class or whatever. And find a gun that you can shoot in that you can get started with. And like in my opinion, and I don't even own one, but a CZ 457. If I could go back, I'd buy one of those because I mean you can turn it in from a factory gun that shoots good. I mean, you can put a barrel on it later on or a stock on it later on. Once you get your skills honed in and have your general knowledge on Benchrest,
Yes.
when
You
you
can
get
learn the game with what you got.
when you get a good gun, it makes it just seem like it's just so much easier than it is.
Absolutely.
Don't overstep your boundaries.
Yeah. So how about you, Steve? What rifle you think would be a good entry level rifle, and what class do you think people should start with?
I like the CZ rifles. I've got a CZ 457 that I really like. I need to get it out and shoot it more. As far as what class, I think you guys have probably got it right. Start out in the factory class and then work your way up as you gain experience. And one thing that I've learned in other parts of life that I think directly applies here is it's just as easy when you're practicing to repeat bad habits and get those ingrained
Yeah.
as it is good habits.
Mm.
And I find I shoot my best groups if I'm mentally focusing on my fundamentals because I don't have those Benchrest type fundamentals as ingrained as I do. Like I say, 40 years of hunting and shooting off the trees and such.
Right.
So I think that's it. Practice, but be sure you're using the right fundamentals.
Yes. Okay, George. What class you think people should start with as new shooters, and what kind of rifle recommendations?
Well, like Steve, a good CZ to me is probably the best place to start. A used CZ, I don't care, just whatever, but the main reason being is they're like small block Chevys. There's so many parts out there for them now,
Yep,
barrels, triggers, stocks. You can upgrade when you're ready to upgrade. You know, I'd say
absolutely.
CZ and factory class, just and you'll gain knowledge from that, and then you can go up. You know, different kind of rifles, spend more money, but yeah,
Absolutely.
and
So,
get as as much money as you spend on your gun, spend on a scope.
yep,
You know, if you spend $500 on a gun, get you a $500 scope, and get. It's like you said a minute ago. If you can't see it, you can't hit it.
Can't hit
yeah,
it.
The more power scope, give it to me. You know, if I can use a 60 power, if I got a 60 power, I'll use it. The better you can see, the better you can hold, the better you'll shoot.
yep. Aim small, miss small.
There you go. Yeah.
Yep. Instead of aiming at the 8 ring, you're aiming at the 10 ring. If you can
Hmm.
see it. You know.
Yeah.
You know,
I ain't had
honestly,
a in that
to
10
me,
ring.
to me too, it goes the same for triggers. If you can learn to shoot a bad trigger, you could shoot a good trigger.
Oh
So
yeah.
Yeah.
don't necessarily go right away to a really good trigger. It can make you a worse shooter overall. You know.
Yep.
I love
So,
shooting my Kimber, but it's got a shit trigger on it.
so one thing I'll throw out here, when you first get into shooting, you're more than likely going to be trying a lot of different things, trying to find what you like.
Hmm.
Um, that's kind of a double edged sword. Like settle with something and build skill with it. Once you get something pretty decent, you know, learn how to shoot that rifle before you go moving on. The more things you play with, you have different triggers, different, just different personalities to a rifle. Every rifle has a different personality, and learn how to shoot one thing, get good with it before you go moving on. And that's a really good tip there. So
Yeah,
Chad's
that's
saying
your
call out the
trade tool.
side chat.
Yeah, that's your trade tool. So you got to get comfortable with that rifle.
Yeah,
You got to learn the rifle. You got to know what happened. You got to malfunction. You know what I mean? It's the
yeah,
worst thing. You're shooting a match, any class of match, and you get a malfunction. You have no idea what to do next. Because
yeah,
if you maintain your rifle, they should not fail you, but they're mechanical parts. But
yeah.
So
you got to be.
Justin,
Yeah.
speaking of guns having personalities, when you shoot Chad's, does it trash? When you shoot his rifles, do they trash talk back to you?
They're real whiny.
I figure they might. Yeah, that's probably a better way to say it. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh,
Oh boy.
yeah.
So one thing I didn't hear anybody mention, and I kind of forgot about myself when we're talking about entry level rifles, is the good old Ruger 1022. That's a good
Mhm.
platform to start with. You can upgrade from factory or semi-auto all the way to unlimited with the 1022. You know, you can just keep throwing parts at it and take it to a different class. But they're really accurate rifles. But
Something good to shoot off of.
oh yeah,
If you don't have something that keeps that gun steady or something like that, you're never gonna shoot well.
yes. So your bags and rest definitely is
Mhm.
a bigger part of the package than one would think. Um,
It's like a puzzle piece. You got to have every piece.
oh yeah,
Doesn't have to be the best piece, but
yeah,
you
for
just need
sure.
to.
Um, so Jose, what do you want to put in the side chat for these guys to call out?
Bench rest.
Benchrest. Okay. We'll let Billy call out the side chat here when they start rolling in.
You betcha. All right, so Hasbro out there, get Benchrest, and we also have living in Southwest Virginia, Steve, Delta 22NC, Kentucky Rimfires and Hobbies. We got Lever Action 22, Jeff Lee, and Jay Crow. We also have Rimfire Dave out there and in the panel. We got Helping Man. We got Boomstick out there. Alaska One Andy. TJ's Fishing from across the pond. Got Southern Rifle out there and also on the panel here. We got Chris Lang. There's Mike Conley. Also got Dale Pogue. And let's see if we got anybody else coming in here in a minute. Excuse me.
You think we should give away one of Chad's rifles tonight?
Of course.
Absolutely.
The Annie.
What's the
Blondie.
hashtag gonna be?
Give away Blondie. And I'll get Dave to hand autograph it.
Yes.
It'll be the last time I'm asked to do this.
Yeah.
So, next question got going around, and then they'll probably about wrap us up. Kind of when should you, change classes or upgrade your equipment? As a new shooter. So, so far we discussed, factory class is a good class to get started at. At what point should you, make a move to another class? And my personal suggestion is, once you, got familiar with your equipment and you've seen improvement and you start winning, and my opinion in it, is once you start winning in that class up, make room for another new shooter. Don't just sit and dominate something. People like to win, but, just don't bully new shooters. Once you've started winning, move on. That's what unlimited class is for, is for the elite. But we'll see what you guys think about it. How you guys would answer the question. But a lot of people throw parts at stuff before their skill level gets there, and they get discouraged. They'll take a factory rifle, they'll change out triggers, they'll change out barrels because it's so easy to do. You want to shoot better, but inadvertently, you're throwing yourself into another class with way better rifles than what you're putting together. So I think that's probably the biggest thing that discourages new shooters is, they'll throw money at something and throw parts at it, and they don't shoot no better because it probably wasn't a rifle. It was probably the rest, or it was their technique, or their wind reading skills, or something like that. But we'll go around the panel and when do you think you should upgrade? Well, Hillbilly's muted there. We'll start with Hasbro. At what point do you think you should change up?
I can tell you what I did, and I don't know if that's recommended, but I'll just tell you what I did. Was I would start with I started really into it heavily with a CZ 457.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kept working on it till it was the best I could do. And I'm shooting at the hide and I'm in different places and I'm winning. But all of a sudden the gap went down and I start to lose by a few. And I realized, okay, I'm not sure how much more I can do. Then I upgraded that rifle. And then I get hanging around some of these other characters and other shoots and decided, okay, now I got to shoot other classes. Okay, so now I start total factory class, right? And you kind of start that journey again. But when I start peaking out and then feel like I'm losing ground, I'm not sure I can do much more within the platform I'm on, then I either upgrade or move on to another platform.
Right. You got to make sure that your skill level, you got to make sure that you're getting all that you can get out of your equipment, in my opinion.
That's true.
You move on,
You're right. You're dead right. But it's like the problem is too when you get into the games that we play now. Like we talked about the CZ platform, and I got one that's like totally tricked out, right? And every eighth of an inch costs you a lot of money on group sizes.
Oh yeah.
You could take a factory CZ and shoot 0.6s all day long. But get from 0.6 to 0.4, yeah, that probably just costs you $1,500.
Yep.
And then to do it consistently. And then you want to get from 0.4 to 0.2s, you got to go down and see my buddy Rimfire Dave. And it takes a lot of skill and things to get the equipment to do that. But you will never see it unless you fix you and you work on ammo and other stuff.
Hey, Hasbro, you're missing something. That ammo, you need to move up to Federal Automatch.
That's true. I haven't
that's
learned
the
that lesson
grail.
yet. Dave taught me. What was it we were shooting? SK Standard Plus that day. In a good gun, it shoots really good.
Yes.
It didn't shoot good in my gun.
So, Dave, what's your opinion? When should you upgrade your equipment?
Well, I can give you a personal experience that happened this year. There was a younger couple wanted to get into it. They both bought CZs and shot 8, 10 so matches, and they said, "We're moving up to the unlimited class," and went and spent a lot of money.
Wow.
And they were not ready. I think people need to be patient about moving up.
Yeah.
If they're winning consistently, then I think they're ready. But
Yeah.
just because you get in the top 3 or 5, they thought they were ready in one match. And I tried to give them a little advice. I told them, I don't think you're ready for this yet. Oh, we're ready. Well, now they're back shooting factory again. And you just be patient, you know. Stay in the class and start doing some winning. Like you said, Justin, you know, once you're winning it consistently and you're in the top 1 or 2 every match, then it's probably time to move up.
Yeah.
But just don't get in the top 10 and think, oh, I'm ready to move on. Just be patient. New shooters, just be patient.
I'll add this, new shooters shooting like local club matches, whatever. Don't get caught up in trying to win. Just try to shoot a better score than you did last time. Have fun at it. That's the most important thing. If
Right.
you're all concerned in winning, it's not going to happen. You're putting too much stress on it and all that. Just try to beat yourself. That's the most important thing. So, Jose, at what point do you think you should upgrade?
I agree with Mr. Dave. Be patient. Don't rush, right? And then make sure that that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
And then, like you say, if you start placing pretty good and you feel comfortable, maybe do 5, 10, 15 more matches. Keep that consistency there, and
Yes.
then yes, and then go and look what the other guys are doing on the other. What kind of equipment they got? It's going to be totally different. Like you say, Hasbro mentioned, you're going to have to come up here, and then make sure that that's what you want. And they usually, like Mr. Dave, sir, you get out there because you feel comfortable, and then you get out there and you find out you're not ready. And I seen a guy that I think that rifle that I got, that Red Voodoo, I think that guy he went in, spent all that money, and I guess he wasn't winning too much, so he got discouraged, and he went and traded in. He decided to go now center fire. So make sure that's what you want, because when you get there, you're gonna spend some coconuts up there. So yeah, you're gonna
And I know you know this, and I know Dave knows this. When you get into center fire, honestly, the game is a little easier at times. There's a lot more variables that really have a big impact in rimfire that are smaller in center fire.
Yep.
Yeah, it's, more control of ammo with
just
center fire.
and like if you're gonna do that, and I look at Brock and not because here I admire him, that he's he's willing to go out there and try and learn and ask questions, right? Don't be ashamed to ask. And but when you get out there, make sure that's what you want, and that's what you want. and you're doing good over here, then go out there and test the waters, right? See,
Yep.
see if you want to, because when you get up there to that level, man, there's some good shooters. Like Mr. Day said, they're out there to win. No offense. I'll help you, but I mean, it's like if you go in business, you don't go in business to lose money, right?
Right.
you go
Yep.
Yeah.
you go in business to make money. If you got a business and you're losing 1,000 coconuts a week, I don't know how you stay in business. So, yeah, but and then you got to have a passion for the sport. You got to have a passion. You got to that's what you want, and you'll be successful if you're patient, like you said.
Guys, when you get to the level like Mike Moore and Brock and Dave shooting, you're shooting against people that's all they've ever done.
That's
they're
right.
they're elite shooters, and they got deep pockets. It's hard to beat them. And
That's right.
and don't think that you're just going to dumb luck into this, and your expectations. You got to be good to be in the elite. A local club match, yeah, you might do pretty well, but you start shooting some of these ABRA tournaments and um, these state matches and stuff. It's the best of the best there. They come to shoot, so you got to have good expectations of what's going to happen. So Brock, at what point do you think you should upgrade? And
Well, I think a lot of it just depends on how big you want to get into it. I mean, some people are perfectly happy shooting factory and they'll do that all their life, and there's nothing wrong with that.
right,
I think a lot of it comes down to if you've got somebody that'll let you shoot like their gun that's in unlimited class, shoot that before you go and buy one. Just you may not even like it.
yeah,
You may say factory's all for me or whatever. So I think a lot of times there's a lot of people like Dave was talking about that are quick to jump into an unlimited class, get discouraged, and either quit shooting in general or just go back down to factory, and that's all they ever shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Because they think, man, I can't ever get up there towards the top, or I can't get my gun to do this, because stepping up from factory to unlimited it's night and day different. I mean, there's so much you can do and change to a gun. If you don't know what you're doing, it sure makes for a
miserable experience. Yeah.
And I'm telling you, if you can get you a good mentor or go to a shoot and find somebody that's doing well, that'll help you in this rimfire deal, I guarantee you can. Have somebody that's shot for 20, 30 years that's up towards the top tell you if they think you're ready to step up to a new class.
There you go. Absolutely.
Because we all want to be, we like that shiny object. We want a custom gun because it's pretty and looks good and
It was cool, yeah.
might not be what you're ready for yet. And then again, it might be. I mean, you never know.
Guys, there's a lot of custom guns out there that's been built for somebody that wasn't ready, and it's for sale for a good price.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to take a chance on a rifle. It may have never been given a fair chance. If possible, test drive that rifle. But there's some good deals out there from people that jump too quick and get discouraged.
Well, you mentioned this at the beginning, sort of, Justin, but one of the best things you can do is talk to somebody that's at the range, and if you see one of these custom rifles, like Chad let me sit behind Blondie. And when I sat behind that gun, I'm not just patting Rimfire Dave on the back, but that was freaking amazing. I just put 3 right through the same hole the first time I touched the gun.
Yep.
And so from there on, I'm just going, Chad, what's your problem?
Yeah.
No excuses.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an amazing rifle.
He let you actually touch it? Shoot it?
He let me shoot it. Well, he turned his back and I shot it, but whatever.
Yeah, Justin he wanted to let me, but I got all tangled up. He offered me to shoot. He got some nice rifles that day, and next time I will shoot them.
We ran out of time.
Justin didn't let me shoot any of his, and he wouldn't even let me use his Benchrest. It's like there was a problem that day.
The ugly you got that thing that'll shoot lights out. Yeah,
That's a lie, Hasbro. I offered to let you shoot everything on.
yeah.
But he wouldn't sell me his Benchrest.
Yeah,
I
I'm already
tried. I
selling
really
already.
tried.
All right, Steve. So, what point do you think a shooter should be before they upgrade?
I think all you guys has got it right. You need to shoot long enough and get good enough where it makes sense to step up.
Yeah.
I mean,
Very good.
my
Yep.
skill level right now, and like I say, I'm changing my style of shooting, what I've done all these years. I don't need to go buy a voodoo or something like that.
Hmm.
I need to work with what I've got, get better, get to the point where it makes sense to move up. So,
Yeah.
like I said, I think you guys has got it nailed.
I was going to send you one of my voodoos, but I'll wait. You say you never ready, so I'll wait.
Yeah.
So basically, guys, I can go out and buy the best set of golf clubs money can buy, and I'm still not
Mhm.
going to do no good.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about golf. I'm telling
Yeah,
you.
you got to learn how
Yeah,
to golf before you buy better clubs.
yeah.
Same way of
It's
shooting.
true.
Yep.
So
And if somebody
Georgia,
lets you shoot their unlimited gun or whatever, don't be intimidated by it. Just shoot the dang thing.
Yeah.
If they're offering
absolutely.
and throwing it out there, hammer down on it. I mean, you're never
I
going
ne-
to know until you try it. So
yeah, when I go to the range and they offer, I always shoot, man.
yeah,
See, I'm not afraid. Me, yeah, I'll go there and try it.
at the very
Absolutely,
least, it'll
guys.
give you an idea on what you want when you're ready to step up into that
Hmm.
class.
Yeah.
Guys, anytime you're around shooters, if they're nice enough to offer to let you shoot something, you know, they're genuinely normally wanting you to try it.
To
I mean,
try. Yeah.
don't be a mooch or nothing like that. Don't sit and shoot up all their ammo, but you know, shoot 5 or 10 rounds through it. They're not going to care one bit.
That's right.
And just be nice about it, and hey, pass it along. Once you get to a better level, pass along the knowledge you learned from somebody else, and let somebody shoot your stuff. Just passing it on is how this community is what it is. It's how all of us met, how we're all here. So Georgia, at what point do you think is a good time to class up or upgrade equipment?
If you if you don't lie to yourself, you'll know. You'll
Yeah,
know when it's time to step up.
yeah,
The the biggest learning curve to me is learning the ammunition. Right? The ammunition is the biggest part of the rimfire game.
and
Period.
win.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But if you if you'll learn your rifle and learn what ammo it takes and learn how to lot test and do all that stuff. I made a video today and I say in it, my shooting's got so bad because I've been doing just so many. I've got into bad habits because I'm shooting off my deck, shooting off a really wobbly bench. I've just got my shooting got terrible because of it. But I know it. And I look right at the camera and I say, I'm going to get better because I know what I've got to do. And you will too. Everybody will. But they'll know when they're doing something wrong. They'll know when it's time to step up. If you just be true to
absolutely,
yourself.
absolutely. So we got one more question we'll go around with, and then we'll talk about what we have coming up this week. And we can go around this one pretty quick. If you don't have anything, you can skip you or just keep it a little bit short. But in closing, kind of what's a tip that you'll give to a new shooter? Something that you can readdress something we've talked about or something totally new, whatever. So, Hillbilly, what's a tip you give a new shooter getting into Benchrest?
Tip that I give a new shooter getting into Benchrest. Man.
Don't.
Other than that,
Save your money. No, I'm just kidding.
Run away.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. To be honest, like a lot has been said here tonight. Get in the community. If it's at the range or wherever, get some info and all that. But try some different ammo. That's been the biggest, I think. Like a person gets a rifle and uh you might see like, well, so and so has the same type of rifle I got, and it really likes this ammo. So they shoot it, and you got a flyer here or there, or group saying it's good. Just keep trying some ammo and find out what your particular barrel your rifle likes, because that makes all the difference in the world. It takes a lot of the frustration out. I mean, if you're just shooting, it's like I wasn't able to get a hold of any good ammo. I was shooting, just some Aguilin stuff, and get like 5-round group. Get like 3 pretty good shots, and then one off a little bit in a flyer. It's just aggravating. So yeah, I'd say that's probably the best thing, is just to try some different ammos. Buy you one box of 5 different ammos, or something, and just kind of see what that particular gun likes.
Absolutely.
Just because somebody's shooting good with one speed doesn't mean that same speed works for you.
In your rifle.
Mhm.
Yep.
Pay attention to your lot number, not your speed. I mean, I shoot this team that I shoot, and somebody at our range bought a bunch of the same speed that's on that box and was complaining because they won't shoot the same. Well, they're made in a different year and have a different lot number.
Yep.
Best thing you can do is take that speed and throw that thing out the window. Don't pay attention to that number. In my opinion.
There's a tip from an elite shooter, guys. You better write it down.
Yep.
All right, Hasbro, what's the tip you would give new shooters?
Well, from my centerfire days, and it still carries innocence, don't get stuck in tracking SDs and ESs. It will drive you insane. Now, once you're within a certain ammo shoots good in your gun, yeah, it's good to kind of confirm it, watch it. If one drops off, then that was probably it, not you. But I've seen ammo with, standard deviations like 15, 16. They're shooting stupid good groups of 50.
That's right.
Don't get lost in that.
Yeah.
It's
In the numbers.
It's fun, and it's easier than it's ever been because of some of the little Garmins and things. But don't get lost in that. Focus on your skills.
Absolutely. All right. So, Dave, what's the tip you give? And I know you got a bunch of them.
Go, one word. Practice.
There you go.
I was going to say clean.
Pennsylvania
That's it.
state champion, guys. Tells you to practice.
The only way you're going to get good, practice. Even if it's not a good gun, not good ammo, practice.
Guys, I'll tell you this. You can't pick the weather on match day. If you got
Nope.
a day to shoot, I know you may think it's wasted ammo, but if it's a windy day, you shooting that windy day.
That's
You're
right.
going to learn something. You're not
Amen.
just wasting ammo. Hold
See, a
dead
lot of-
on. And then
A lot
see
of
where-
guys that, go ahead.
hold dead on, see where the wind takes it.
Mhm.
Mentally note what the wind flags were doing. Go
Yep.
ahead, Dave.
Yeah, the thing about it, guys are shooting like a 5-shot group, and they get 3 in a one hole and one out a little bit, one out a lot. They don't know what caused that. Was it wind? Was it ammo? Is it something they did? So don't try to diagnose that. Just keep shooting. Shoot
Yeah.
another 5-shot group, and another one, and another one.
Mhm.
Until you have
And
ammo
all of
to
a sudden,
shoot dead,
and all of a
dead
sudden you
buttholes.
shoot right. And all of a sudden you shoot 5,000 rounds in a year. Thanks, Dave.
Got to keep the economy going.
Right.
There's so many factors that's causing that one flyer.
Mhm.
You don't know if
Yeah.
it's
Exactly.
the ammo, the rest, wind, or what.
I
Figure
put a
that out,
video
so-
out on it. What affects a
Yeah.
rimfire?
Yeah,
Yeah, seeing it.
everything.
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 That's the answer.
Everything.
So, Jose, what's the tip you give us?
My fellow Americans. No, I'm just kidding. I got to go with Mr. Dave again. practice, 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 and then practice some more. You got to learn how to
Amen.
shoot in the rain, in the wind, and the only way you're going to know it is if you practice. Oh, yeah, I need some flags this way. Yep, I need some flags here. Oh, got a hole here. That's it.
Yep. Do what that
Absolutely.
guy says.
Yeah,
Yep. Brock, give us another good tip.
If you can't see it, you can't shoot it.
Got to
It
have
goes with your
optics.
scope and your wind flags. If you can't see the wind, you're never going to do good.
Yep.
yeah,
If you can't see it through your scope, you're never going to do good.
Absolutely.
Prioritize certain things over upgrading your rifle.
absolutely.
Learning how to read conditions. Wind flags help you see the conditions. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yep. How about you, Steve? What kind of tip do you give new shooters?
This is the one that I'm working on. Practice your fundamentals.
Yep.
Good position, good trigger squeeze. Focus on that to where it becomes repetitive and a habit. And
Absolutely.
try not to get focusing on bad habits because
Yep.
it'll become just as ingrained as a good habit.
Yep. Absolutely. How about you, George? What tip would you give these new shooters, and me too?
Do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah,
That's a good one, George.
that's a good one. Yeah,
shoot straight and put them all in the same hole.
shoot straight.
Wow. Well, guys, I believe it's been a pretty good show tonight. Even without Chad, that might be what made it better. I don't know what you guys think.
Yeah, I think it much
He's
better
still-
than normal.
He's still on the side show. Yeah.
If he ever lets me do this again, we'll give away one of his rifles. So
That's right. The
we
next
won't do
one.
it tonight. So I guess we'll go around the room and tell everybody what we got coming up next week or what videos we got coming out, whatever. So we'll start out with George. You want to, George? What you got going on this week coming? And
Just doing some more of these challenge targets. I finally got my printer ink in, so I've got a lot to do. Got a lot of catching up to do. Been doing the day at the range stuff, but I've got a lot of max targets here I've got to shoot, and some Hasbro and some No Pro. Got a lot of shooting to do.
absolutely, weather's cooling down. Winter's near.
But what? Can't catch a break on the wind here though for some damn reason.
Yep.
It's that time of year.
I'm afraid we'll go straight to winter this year.
Yeah.
So Steve, what you got coming up this week?
I've got a video coming out Sunday, shooting a 100-yard stretching it out challenge. And then, like I say, we're going to shoot Monday, me and my brother. And I plan on shooting that Hilux challenge target for the contest with a couple different rifles and seeing how that turns out.
Cool. So guys, I'll tell you one thing right now. If you want to get better at shooting at 50, shoot 100 yards.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to get better at 100 yards, shoot 200
200
yards.
yards. Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So every time you add yardage, you're multiplying every factor.
Oh yeah.
And when you come back to that shorter range, you'll shoot better. Guaranteed. All right. So Brock, what you got coming up this week?
Well, still trying to get caught up on leather orders. I got my first Saturday off in a while, so hopefully I can get some stuff done tonight and tomorrow and getting caught up, some stuff shipped out. Got to shoot this Pagora and make sure I got it all squared away and mess with it some, and then getting this Sewell 150 ready. I think it's going to shoot its first actual ARA match next Saturday. So.
Great.
I'm anxious to see that. That thing's a tack driver already.
It seems to be pretty good.
Yep.
I've been happy with it.
Absolutely. It's a pretty rifle too.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to shoot as good as my 2500, but I think it'll be a good backup gun. So that's what I wanted.
You got more experience with that 2500, so time will tell.
Yeah.
Yep. So, Jose, what you got coming up this week?
So tomorrow I'm releasing a short video for fun. We got a challenge tomorrow for fun in the club. We're shooting some crazy targets, and one of those targets is cutting a card, a 50-yard, a playing card.
Yeah.
So see how many shots you take. I got a video, a short video I was working on. I released it tomorrow. I was practicing today, cutting one of those cards off. It was a lot of fun. So I got that. Then on Monday, we are closing out the series. What if you only have Fatal Lotto match? We're gonna shoot the remix. Um, the best group was the one of the best group was the Red Voodoo. You guys saw that video this week, but we'll give the results. Which one of those rifles did the B14R, the BMR, the Tika, and Voodoo, and then the remix. And then I got next Wednesday and the following week I got a couple of the challenges. Uh, I think I got Kentucky Rimfire Challenge and the No Pro and Chris Lang. And then I'm making room to shoot that Elijah's challenge at the 100, the 50, and then um, Minnesota shooting sports. I'm gonna try that one at 100. So stay tuned.
Okay. Sounds like you
Now
got a
that
lot
you're in
coming
the
up.
Annie Anonymous group,
Yes.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah. Thank you.
So, Dave, what you got coming up this week?
Actually, tomorrow is family day, and then
Cool.
after church Sunday, I'm going to go out and start shooting some of these challenges. I've looked in my gun closet. I guess I got a couple Annies in there to shoot that, and then I want to shoot that Hilux challenge because I have a few of the guns that are old for that. And then Thursday, I think I'll go back and hunt for 3 or 4 days. So that's it. Easy
Absolutely.
week.
The life of a retired sailor.
Yeah.
Heard that.
a deer in every port.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, how about you, Hasbro? What you got coming up this week?
Well, I've been playing around with Day at the Range. So there'll be a video coming out on this tomorrow.
Oh yeah,
And
that's it.
so this is an Annie shooting Center X, and it did pretty good. It's not its best ammo, but it did pretty good. And then I'll be shooting some more of this stuff. We're shooting this from now to the end of the month. And then I'm going to shoot No Pros, I hope, tomorrow. But there's a big storm coming through, so I'm just not sure how it's going to work out. So we'll see.
Awesome. Sounds good. So, we got the Hillbilly Hasbro witch hunt going on right now, and then Elijah's got that new Hilux Malcolm collaboration with them going on. That's going to be a giveaway for that Hilux Malcolm 20 power scope. Guys, get out there and submit some entries for that. So, Hillbilly, what you got coming up this week?
I hope that Hilux scope deal. I hope they have entries for like the worst groups. I might have that one nailed. Yeah, 10 power.
That was a good video.
Is pretty rough to see. There, but now we got Guns Beer and Therapy tomorrow night, 9:00 Central, 10:00 Eastern. If you ain't done nothing, swing by and see us. Would love to have you. And then, man, we got a couple videos coming out every week. We got the 1022 from Bear Creek. We got a new barrel hammered on that thing, and so we got a video coming out with that. See, I believe. Anyway, a few more Benchrest style videos, and then on top of all that, end up getting something new to the channel. So I'll have to be trying to work this in also. Here, I'll go ahead and pull it up here. But this is where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Sorry. changing places on me. There it is. So this is a Rossi Rio Bravo tactical, and a little 22 lever action. And I did go out today and just kind of bore sighted that in and took like 5 shots. They're about 30 yards, and it did that. So
Wow.
not too bad. But yeah, I'm excited. That's gonna be a fun little gun to play around with. But yeah, we got lots of videos. Like I said, try to get that 1022, that new barrel on there. Find some ammo for it that it likes, and hopefully get that shooting good and be able to use it in some of these contests and stuff. So anyway, man, a lot of fun. It's always great hanging out with each and every one of you.
So Hillbilly's got a hammer forged barrel on his 1022 now. He hammered it in and forged it.
Rubber hammer.
Yeah, a new technique.
That'll make a Gila shine.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm anxious to see how that thing shoots, Hillbilly. That new barrel on there.
Yeah.
Sounds
May
good.
have to get a new muzzle brake for it, but
Sounds good. Well,
And a blurb tube.
I guess that about wraps it up tonight, guys. We're at the hour and a half mark. I'd say Dave probably needs to get in bed, and he's probably got something fun to do tomorrow.
Hey, that's two of us.
I definitely got to work tomorrow, so guess I want to wrap this thing up and call it a semi-success. We didn't burn nothing down or get booted off, so we did pretty
That's
good,
good.
I guess.
Yes, I think you did outstanding.
We didn't get kicked off YouTube like Chad always did, so we must have done something right.
Yeah.
So
Hey,
guys,
you did better than I did because I played music that got it demonetized. So you did better than I did already.
So I want to apologize to all the people in the side chat for not engaging them. I don't have another platform to be on YouTube and keep up with the side chat, so that's why I didn't engage in the side chat. So a little late for that, but I guess we can tell everybody bye and good night, and
Good night.
we'll see y'all next
Good night.
Friday. Let's talk Benchrest.
Take care. Yes.
Hi,
Hey, everybody.
guys.
Not everybody.